everybody, welcome back. Today we are going to, if I were at school, the TPO board would say we will apply knowledge of solfege using folk songs today. Now I'm going to tell you a little bit more about folk songs. We've talked about them before. Folk songs are songs that are passed along from people to people through generations. Like grandparents will teach them to parents, and parents will teach them to their kids, and so on and so forth. The neat thing about folk songs is a lot of times they were passed on, but they were never written down. Now later on, fairly recently, they started writing them down. Some of these songs have been around for hundreds of years, a long time. And every time they passed them from generation to generation, sometimes the words would change a little bit. And so there are some folk songs that have 3 or 4 different versions. Today you're going to hear a song called Juba. And Juba is an African-American folk song that has been passed down for a couple hundred years. And it is it's going to be a good example of how things change a little bit. Now I'm going to teach the simplified version of it, which is how I actually learned it. But then at the end of the video, I'm going to play you a song of a group called Sweet Honey in the Rock singing it. They are an a cappella group that's made up of all women, and they do a really cool rendition of it that's very, very different from the one I'm going to teach you. Now, the other cool thing about this folk song is that it has a really neat hand percussion part. This is from the slavery times, and during slavery, sometimes their drums were taken away from them. And so they started making up their own body percussion, which lives on to this day. Another thing that is quite reminiscent of African-American folk songs is they do something called Callin Response. Remember how we've talked about form, how a lot of our songs go A, B, A, B, A. It's one part, like a verse, and then a refrain, or a chorus, and then back to the verse, and then back to the chorus. It goes back and forth. Well, in African-American folk songs, many of them are what's called Callin Response. There's one person who's the leader who sings the song out, and then the other people echo it back. Of course, there's only one of me today, right? So it's going to be a little difficult for me to show you that part of things. So I want you to listen to the recording that I'm going to add in, and you will hear the Callin Response. There's a leader who will say Juba, and then the rest of the group will say Juba behind them. And to start off with, we're going to do just like we did in school. The first thing we learned was the rhythm. So we have our rhythm right here. Now I'm going to play a steady beat on my drum over here, and I want you to read the rhythm. 1, 2, here we go. How'd you do? Give yourself a thumbs up. Thumbs in the middle if you've forgotten some of this. Thumbs down if you're like, oh no, I can't remember any of it. But I don't think anybody's going to be doing this one because I know you guys are smart, and I know that you remember this because we've been working on these all year. So let's try it together with Mrs. Johnson. 1, 2, here we go. T, 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 ta. 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 Hey, do you see a pattern there? I think I see a pattern there. Look at this. Every one of these has the same rhythm pattern. There we go, finding more patterns. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next part, which is what we usually do in class 2. We figure out the solfege, the do, re, mi's. I'm going to have to lean back a little bit because this one goes up to a do, and I can't put my arms straight up or else you won't be able to see me. So let me arrange myself a little bit here. This song is going to start on T. We don't usually start on T, do we? Oh my goodness, what? Do you say you can't quite remember the do, re, mi's because it's been a while? Yeah, I know, it has been a while. So let's go ahead and let's practice through them now. I'm going to have to make them a little bit smaller because you're not going to be able to see the really low ones, are we? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. All right, so I hope that refreshed your memory a little bit. Like I said, this one's going to start with T. I'm going to do it for you first. Ti, ti, do, do, ti, ti, la. Ti, ti, do, do, ti, ti, la. Ti, ti, do, do, ti, ti, la. Do, do, ti, ti, la, la, so. Did you hear any patterns in that one? Were all four sections the same? Okay, let's break it down. First section was ti, ti, la. Oh, that's not la. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. So what is that note up there? High do. You are so right. Mrs. Johnson makes mistakes too, right? Let's try that again for my sake. Here we go. Ti, ti, do, do, ti, ti, la. That was the first section. Okay. Easy enough. Second section. Ti, ti, do, do, ti, ti, la. Was that the same or different? You're right. It was the same. Here's the third section. Ti, ti, do, do, ti, ti, la. Was that the same or different? That was the same too, wasn't it? Okay, here's the last section. Do, do, ti, ti, la, la, so. Was that the same or different? You got it. That one was different. So 3 of them are the same and 1 of them is different. Okay. Now you're probably wondering, what are the words? Well, you are in luck. I'm going to put the words in right down here. I think I can do it down, or else it might be in the middle here. I'm not sure. I don't quite remember which way it goes. But I will have the words on there for you to read. Now, what I'm a little concerned about is I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see them that well, so I'm going to have to make sure we have a good contrast color. Paper towel comes in handy for things. Okay, this may look a little funny, but when you're in quarantine at home, you make do with what you have. And surprisingly, Mrs. Johnson does not have a lot of big pieces of paper here. So I'm going to hold this up. Your words will magically appear on this paper towel. The song goes like this. Juba this and Juba that. Juba chased a yellow cat. Juba up and Juba down. Juba running all around. Pretty easy, right? Not a whole lot of words. Okay, I'll put the paper towel away. Ta-da! It's disappeared. Yes, I'm goofy here at home too. So that is how the song goes. This, like I said, this is the simplified version of it. It gets a little more complex as people add on things to it through the years. Remember how I told you there were some hand gestures involved in this too? Now, all it takes is your hands and your legs. But it may be a little bit tricky. So I'm going to show you in slow motion first. I'm going to start off with one of your hands, whichever one you'd like. You're going to hit it on your leg. Here, let me cross my legs so you can see this better. So you go, you hit it on your leg, but your other hand is over top of it. So when this hand comes up off your leg, it's going to hit your other hand. It's going to end up hitting 3 times on this side. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay? Easy enough? So 1, 2, 3. But then it's going to switch and it's going to go the other way. This hand's going to go down. 1, 2, 3. So what you just did your first hand, you're just going to do your second hand. So altogether, it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we were to count out the beats in this, in each line, there's only 4 beats. Here's 1 beat, 2 beat, 3 beat, 4th beat. But we're counting to 6 with our hands. So it's not going to quite be how we're used to. It's going to challenge us a little bit. Second graders, this is your challenge. Now, when we sing this song, our hands are going to be going pretty fast. So we're going to do our best. Is it okay if we don't get it the first time? Yes, it is totally fine, as long as we keep trying. And you know what? To be honest, don't tell anybody, but this took Mrs. Johnson a while to get down too, because it's the counts kind of go against each other. So you got to get your song in your head and get the beat in your hands. And so we'll see how it goes. All right. Stuff is put away. We're ready to go. Okay. Juba this and Juba that. Juba chased a yellow cat. Juba up and Juba down. Juba running all around. Ta-da! Okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the music for the song, and it's going to be playing off to the side. I don't know how well you're going to hear it, but at the very end of the video, I am going to actually put the whole song in so that you can hear how it goes. And you can try it. And you can try it with your hands. Juba. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that video. Well, there's actually a little story along with it. It explains a little bit more than I did. I'm going to put the video down in the links below, and I would advise you to listen to it because it is really cool. So some of these will actually be lessons. Some of these are going to actually be storybooks. There'll be a variety of things on here for you to listen to. See you guys. Stay safe. Stay inside. Have fun. One of these days, Mio's is going to come in here and you're going to get to see him too, okay? Have a great day. Bye-bye.